flowers and roses, such would astound you. The joy of children laughing around you. These are the makings of you. It is true, the makings of you. The righteous way to go.
The painter, brother's letter. I should cut my ear off like Van Gogh. Stop performing at the Klan shows. Watch myself from the audience. Play piano with lit candles. I mean, I'll still perform, but the thrill is gone. I don't feel as strong, maybe cause the wheel is torn. I clutch in a ball cause I'm sick to my gut. Then I brushed off the dust, stood up like I was touched by healing palms. I picked up my shield and 3 rocks as I'm hearing psalms. Know ye not that ye are gods? And I've been blocked by bouncers, overlooked by the announcers. I'm in the stand with the fans, which told me many of my album was like a counselor. They said songs like Then From Now, got them from then to now. Even deja vu, they said the old man was you. In a reoccurring nightmare, where you kept coming back around. I took a picture with him, then he showed me a picture of his daughter in a cap and gown. He said he put her through college because your words stood up for knowledge. Said, to be honest, you like a prophet. I said, stop it. He said, what made you right before quarantine take us to Nebula in a rocket? I said, it was just my journey to the planet of gods, or divine intervention. Just a mantra, I said, for the monsters in my head. Kept reliving, but we true and living. Like 3 supermen then, he said, who you kidding? That was a beautiful listening. Clan came on and music was hitting. They did 4th chamber while I talked to strangers about his divorce and child support papers. Got restrained in court for his anger. On the cross cause of haters. Asgos finish up with the black suede while it dawn. They look around, I'm not alarmed. They search backstage and I'm gone. March finish the set, play the next song. Play the next. Nobody would remember. He hardly was a member. But the gods was his avengers. With the bars, always an inventor. From kindergarten to jobs at the center. From the mini-mart, parking cars for the winter. Kept a penny jar. What's the odds I get injured? Dreams of a football star was hindered. My lovers died, my brother's demise. My first son arrived in September. Virgo. No more pop locking like a turbo. Stopping in Stockton in my circles. Metanetza, love was eternal. Ancestors, embrace her. Sword in my dreams like Jacob. Wrestle with the devils before I wake up. Or was that an angel in flames who renamed you? Kill a priest to join the Wu-Tang school. Say to them, oh son of man, now children go in the land. Now I'm on send them 5 deadly venoms.
Freak out, yo!
Yeah, man. Man, say what up.
Huh?
Say what up.
Say what?
Say what's up. Man, you look like grandma.
Oh, you looking at me now?
Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of the Not Radio Play for Now. Strong host, knowledge, from love. We got a special guest by special request. We got our Baba back here in the building. You understand what I'm saying? New modality, new endeavors, much needed. We got our scholar. We got our empowerment coach. We got so many things in this man. You understand what I'm saying? A writer, an author, a think-tarian, and so many things. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some present for others. Welcome back here to his other home, next to Harlem Liberation School. Esteemed elder, Baba Agyei Tyehimba, Harlem son in the building.
Peace, brother. Peace to the God.
Peace, God. How you be?
Man, I am well, brother. I have no complaints. I'm at peace, and I'm doing what I believe I was put on the earth to do. So I feel blessed to be able to do that for the people that I love and honor, my people. So I feel blessed.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know you're still writing book after book, and I know you're pivoting in a certain direction. So if you could take a moment to kind of explain how the need arise in regards to this new style of approach in regards to education and empowerment via.
Yeah, I first want to start with giving all respect, praise, and honor to a goddess on the earth who passed, who put in mad work with the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army. She was a real one. She was unfairly imprisoned on whack charges that they couldn't substantiate. She was freed out of prison, family. She was broken out of prison by members of the BLA and whisked and stayed in the country for a few years underground, and then went over to Cuba where she lived out probably for a good 40 years. Died at the age of 78. I'm talking about none other than the Queen Mother Assata Shakur. I just want to take time out to acknowledge her. She meant a lot to me, and a lot of people when I was a very young activist. Reading her book was like reading Malcolm's autobiography. It just touches you and it sparks you, and you say, man, I want to take a little piece from that sister. I'll never be her, but I just want to take a little piece from her and emulate her spirit and her dedication. So I just want to give her praise for that. Having said that, in line with that, with Sister Assata, one thing she famously wrote, everybody said the things about we have the right to be free, the only thing we have to lose is our chains. Everybody knows that quote. I don't hear people quoting when she wrote, it's not enough to change the system, we must also change ourselves, right? Now, Brother Malcolm before her said that we had to wake up, clean up, and stand up. And Sophia Bakari, who would be around the time of her sister Assata Shakur, another great goddess on the earth, another great elder, ancestor now, with the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army, she wrote that picking up the gun is the easy part. The hard part is the day-to-day grassroots community organizing and modeling for our people what they will need to do to create a new world. So when I look at those three people, man, I'm saying they're pointing us in another direction. So I have been in this movement for a long time. I think some people may not know. My father taught me since I can remember. My father, born and raised in Harlem, and actually got to hear Malcolm on 116th, speaking on 125th Street, was mesmerized by Malcolm, was probably 20 years old, something like that, and was mesmerized by him. And he made sure his son got first, always telling me about Malcolm and Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman. All right. And then as a young man, I read Malcolm X Speaks. So this is now the first time I'm actually picking up and reading something about Malcolm. Prior to that, my father's telling me all this stuff. They didn't have Malcolm X books for kids back then. And so now I'm reading this book. I'm like, I want to be like this brother. Somehow, some way, I want to take elements of him and serve the people, right? So from there, I'm going all throughout Harlem. I'm at Liberation Bookstore. And Sister Una Mozak, the proprietor, who's also an ancestor, became a jugna of mine, schooling me. Her grandfather or father was one of the steamship captains for Brother Garvey, for one of his Black Star Line boats. This sister fought in Grenada, Guyana, rather, had a bookstore. The sellouts put a bomb in her store and killed her partner and damaged her. When the regime changed, she had to flee, came back to the United States, and opened up Liberation Bookstore. She was a stone cold revolutionary. Stone cold. I was at First World Alliance as a young dude. It was like a 2-minute walk. I went to the actual school there, connected to the church, connected to the school. They met in the church connected to the school I attended. And I heard, Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, Ivan Van Sertima, Amos Wilson. Oh, man. Remember Ani when she was known as Donna Richards? Just some some great scholars and great scholar activists, I might say too. So from there I go off to Syracuse University. Now I got the scholarship working, percolating. I've been talking to these brothers on 125th, buying books and having these long conversations. A lot of these dudes selling books back then, they wasn't just booksellers. They were actually in the Republic of New Africa, Nation of Islam, UNIA. They telling me real history. I'm soaking it up, man. So now I'm off to Syracuse University in 86. And I immediately joined the Student African American Society. And now I'm becoming a stone cold activist and community organizer, right? We take over the university. We force them to meet our 13 demands to take care of our Black Studies department that's now dilapidated and neglected by the university. We win that. They try to kick me out of school as the leader of the organization and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the point is, so now I have the scholarship. I'm fusing it with the hardcore activism. And I want to pause just to say this. This is not flowers on me, family. I'm not even a fingernail of a whole lot of people that have done a lot more than me and know a lot more than me. But it's very important when we're looking at people who are portraying themselves as leaders or, want to be in the front or whatever. We want to see that there's evidence that they have fought. That's very important. We want to see that they have fought. Not just that they know a whole lot. That's great. That has its place. I support intellectuals. But what we need are people who fight for us and have a record of fighting. Because that's the only way we can trust that they will fight for us now, is if we can see a record of, oh, they fought, they challenged this, or maybe they took controversial positions, maybe that the society didn't support and they were persecuted, or they held it like a G. That's important. That's why gangs don't say, oh yeah, you want to join? Oh, come on in. That's why sororities and fraternities don't say, you want to join? Come on in. Masonic lodge don't say, oh, you want to join? Come on in. No, they put you through a process. They initiate you. They want to see how you're going to deal with what? Stress, sleep deprivation, maybe being hungry, having a million different responsibilities thrust upon you and having the expectation to meet all of them. That's why gangs jump you in, family. That's why gangs tell you have to do something illegal. Because we need to be able to know what you're going to do when the ish hits the fan. So the story I'm telling you very quickly, I'm trying to build a case that's going to lead to the other part of this story. I don't come into this as a brother that dropped from Neptune on some, I want to be a Black leader too. If you talk to anybody that knew me in high school in the Bronx, anybody that knew me in elementary school, they're going to tell you, oh yeah, he was teaching us about Malcolm X in the cafeteria in high school. This is real talk. In a Catholic high school at that, right? Or in 6th grade when the white teacher, Mr. Henlicky, said, boy, you better come. I said, you don't call me boy. In 6th grade. This ain't of me. This is my family, man, and the ancestors, man, working through me. I want people to understand, I am not new to this. This ain't a hobby. This ain't a side interest. This is my life, my entire adult life. This is very important because I have to frame this for you. This doesn't mean that I'm beyond critique, and it doesn't mean that I haven't been wrong and made some dumb decisions, because trust me, I have more than my share. But it means I'm sincere. It means that I'm not just yapping. I'm not trying to get attention. I've been there and done that. I want to be free. It's always the end game for me is liberation. I don't hear the word enough, and it disturbs me that I don't hear this word. I want to talk about liberation. I want to know what it's like to be free, self-determining, maybe have my own part of our own territory, be amongst my own, be involved in worldly affairs, be self-governing, write our own legislation, run our own economy, have our own banking systems, have our own way of dealing with the people in our community who are, we might say, lumpen proletariat, robbing people, and then criminal, how are we going to deal with that? Are we going to have prisons, or are we going to have some type of rehabilitative? That's where I'm at. That's where I've always been at. I've always been clear on that. I wasn't always clear on what that would look like. And sometimes I'm still wrestling with what that will look like because I'm still learning new things. But I need to frame who I am in that. That's very important. I've been fighting our enemies as soon as I got, literally since 86. And I've been studying our history since I was about 11. This is real talk. I've done grad school in Africana Studies under the great Dr. James Turner, the founding director of Africana Studies and Research Center at Cornell. And the person who actually coined the term Africana Studies. Brilliant man. And another ancestor, another great giant that's physically gone. So I paid my dues, and I love black people, and I serve black people. But I don't always agree with black people. I see things differently. I have critiques. One of my critiques, Brother Knowledge, now that I got through that very quickly, is that I've met people, some of the most brilliant, some of the most experienced people who have been hardcore, boots on the ground, serving the people, feeding the people, old school, knocking on the doors, signing people up, getting their addresses, calling them for meetings, hardcore, old school grassroots organizing. Canvassing communities, surveying the people straight up face to face. I miss those days sometimes in this digital age. But what I found is we have so many people that heeded Malcolm's call to wake up. We got mad black people that's conscious today. But what I'm finding is although we got all this knowledge and experience, and eating these type of diets and all types of different stuff we doing, that character issue still needs great work. We're not supposed to be cheating on our wives, our husbands, our ladies, our men. I know about that, unfortunately, back in the day. We're not supposed to be dishonest with our people. We're supposed to be transparent. We're not supposed to be stealing money. We're not supposed to be making promises we don't even intend to keep. And when we fall short, we're supposed to be men and women and say, hey, I know I said this, but I wasn't able to do it. And that's my apology, my bad. I'm going to make it up. So I'm seeing that a lot of this is happening, and it appears that even significant portions of the so-called conscious community, if you want to call it that, have gone the way of the infidel, the Jezebel, the non-believers, the crooks, and the fraudulent. I'm not going to name names. We all know. So a whole bunch of people like that. Some of them in jail right now because they were supposed to be conscious, but they was doing all types of unethical things. I don't say this to say that I'm perfect. I tell you, I come from a position of being raised right, but like Malcolm, went off course, then came back, right? Went off course for a while in my 30s, a little bit of time. So I'm speaking from knowing what's right, being raised right, but also understanding why our people sometimes go left. Why sometimes they forget who they are. They get a little lost. They go through pain, and they start getting involved with other stuff and other people and all whatever they do. But right now, I'm speaking to the OGs, the people that are OGs to me. I'm speaking to peers who other people see us as OGs to them, depending on your age, right? And they're all saying, we lost our way. Yeah, a lot of us are doing good stuff, obviously, but we've lost our way. There's no code. The young people are running amok. Some of them are brilliant and just as talented and creative as they want to be. But there's a population that's running amok, man. And I'm looking at some of the people who are supposed to be setting examples. And I'm saying somebody has to get this back in shape. And when I say somebody, I don't mean me, a person. I mean that a group of us need to get this whip people back into shape. And since my elders You you know, a lot of my teachers are gone, man, physically, because I'm 57, right? So you got to figure they're probably 20, 70, 80, right? A lot of my jugglers are gone. Sadly. So we are kind of the new elders. The ones that are alive are 70, 80. So they trying to relax, you know, enjoy the twilight of their lives. So the burden, if you want to call it that, is on people like us, the 40s and the 50-somethings, man. We are now supposed to be taking the mantle and continuing the work of, let's say, our grandparents, so to speak, our older aunties and uncles, right, and our parents. And so we got to be right and exact. We have to be bringing it for real, in this for the right reasons, no side issues, not trying to get no draws. Not, you know, we really got to be very clear on that. And we not only have to be clear on that for self, but we have to be watchguards to make sure that none of those people are creeping up in our organizations and in our communities without being addressed. To let people know we're not doing that here, fam. You know, in military talk, we need liberated zones. We need places where we're not doing that here. You ain't touching on no little girls here. You ain't touching on no little boys here. We don't give a damn if you my mom or my daddy. If you doing that, you are exiled. Straight like that. Because our kids have to have safety. They have to have a world where they don't have to be, you know, watching their shoulders and covering up. And now, because they go through that, they can't trust nobody. Right? So they wounded warriors. Right? We need to have a world where sisters can come outside and every 5 minutes they're not being catcalled and accosted and, you know, that type of thing. We need a situation where our brothers feel like they don't have to have 20 bodies to be a man. They don't have to go do these ignorant, self-defeating, reactionary things to get some ignorant, self-defeating, reactionary woman or group of women to think, oh, that's the man I want, the killer. Nah, we got to change that, right? So I'm now on this thing. I'm like, you know what? We got, you know, Public Enemy said it, because we got to keep ourselves in check or else it's self-destruction, right? So I'm thinking we got people teaching, we got all this stuff going on, beautiful stuff, brother. We got people in finance, we got people doing real farming. But the thing is, we can't ask or project to other people to tell them Black Lives Matter if they don't matter to us. They got to matter to us. To hell with who else think our lives matter. It has to, our lives have to matter to us. This is serious business. This is no more play. And, you know, the social media, you know, the TikTok, the sisters doing their little dances. Every other minute I'm seeing a new dance and the brothers is doing a new dance. And we deeply confused and distracted. Their number one tactic is to keep us distracted. Social media has been weaponized to have us looking that way when we should be looking this way, right? We buying everything the white man got to sell, the Chinese got to sell, the Arabs got to sell. We made progress, so it's an illusion. People would think, nah, Agyei, damn, brother, a lot of good, and they're right, a lot of good is happening, but don't be fooled. A lot of backwards motion, retrograde motion, in astrological terms, is going on too. The consciousness is not where it used to be. People, their idea of sacrifice is a lot different than it was when I was coming up, when I was a young head. People's literacy, political literacy, their level of scholarship and understanding is nowhere near what it was when I was coming up. When an elder took you in and said, hey, read this book. Who's this? That's J.A. Rogers, Joel Augustus Rogers. He was not a formal scholar, but he was a brilliant scholar, just didn't have their credentials. Read this book from Superman to Man and holler at me. You got a week. You come to them, they say, no, sir, no. How do you support that? It was different, brother Knowledge. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying we need to bring everything back from the past just because we had it, but you can when you got to explain stuff to people and you got, no. They don't have it. The consciousness is not there. So the level of discussion and our ability to move forward is hampered by that lack of political literacy, what we would call political education. You know, so I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, Harlem Liberation School does a great job of political education, so we're told. But now we have to add something to that. We got to talk about character development, you know, or else, you know, we're going to have the type of generation. If you look at Gen Z, if you look at all of the critiques that you hear and read of Gen Z, selfish, materialistic, weak, always hurt, always complaining, right? These are the critiques I'm talking about. If you read on it, I didn't make these up, right? Feel entitled, a lot of things. So these speak to character issues. So I'm thinking we got to reach Gen Z. We got to talk to our millennials. We got to talk to those in our age groups to make sure they right, to bring them up, to get them out there. Well, you know, these young people crazy. Okay, if they crazy, do something about it. Don't leave them, right? Don't just, you know, dismiss. So I'm looking at all this, and I decided, after some prayer and meditation, a lot of reading and studying and soul searching, that the next phase of my life is going to include, along with the political education and the community organizing, teaching people how to lead and run organizations, it's going to be empowerment coaching. Everything that I've done in my life kind of set me up, man. It's crazy how it worked. It's almost like everything I did was to get me here. You see what I'm saying? And coaching, people hear this term coaching, Brother Knowledge, and they're like, what you doing, football? What you doing? No. Coaching is everywhere. You know, you got finance coaches, you got business coaches, health coaches, fitness coaches, you know, wellness coaches, empowerment coaches, transformative coaches. They're everywhere. And naturally, when it's become a very trendy, popular field. Some people are making 6-7 figures. So a lot of people looking like, whoa, you could work remotely. You could set your hours. So a lot of people are like, whoa, I want to do that. Right. So consequently, you got some coaches are excellent. They come highly qualified. They know how to communicate. They know how to get the truth out of people. They know how to co-facilitate and help you get where you want to get. And others are not so much, right? Some are masterful, some are not. Some see this as a come up, just like Black political things. People get into it not so much because they want to be liberated, but because they're like, yo, when Brother Knowledge dropped that thing, he got mad views, and I noticed that people clap when he speaks, you know, that type of thing. So I do need to frame this to say, for people watching, I want to say what my approach is, what I think makes how I look at it a little bit unique. Number one, I'm into partnership, not hierarchy. A real coach, whatever type they are, is not sitting there getting paid by you to tell you what to do. We are not consultants. We are not therapists. It's going to take you to get you on the couch and hypnotize you, and we're going to go all the way back to you as a baby and what happened. And that's not what we're not therapists. We're not consultants. We are coaches. We are facilitators. Right? So I'm not going to sit and be telling you, oh, you need to do A, B, C, a long list of what you need to do. I'm going to spend 98% of the time with questions. I want to find out what's going on. And I believe that my clients have the intelligence, Brother Knowledge, the experience to solve their own problem. I don't go into this on some, oh, I'm the Wizard of Oz, and you know, I'm just depositing all this great guru truth into you. No, it's not that type of thing. Not when you're a legitimate coach. I believe every person I'm going to work with has the intelligence and ability to empower themselves, but they might need a little nudge. They might need some tools. They might need a little bit of knowledge. They might need some encouragement, right? Also, I'm going to be a listener. I'm going to ask several questions. I'm not going to assume I know I'm not going to give you no cookie cutter advice. Everyone is different, right? So I'm going to ask questions, very specific, strategic questions to understand who you are, what your goals are, what your challenges are, what's your intentions, what's your ambitions. I'm going to listen to identify self-defeating habits or limited or toxic thinking you may have that's getting in the way and sabotaging the goals that you shared with me, right? And these questions are genuine attempts to really help me understand my clients. Now, I want you to think about this. I don't know, you may have friends or acquaintances or people you know or worked with, and when they question you, it's not really a question because they're curious. They're not really asking you the question because they really want to know or understand something. They're asking you the question. It's a veil. It's a disguise. It's really an attack. Their questions are confrontational, combative. They're really trying to get at you, but they're wrapping it in a question, right? Projecting their insecurities, right? Or maybe their self-hatred onto you. No, I'm not doing that, family. We're not trying to be competitive here. As the coach, I'm co-active. I'm a collaborator with you, understanding what your needs and issues are so I can help. Also, in terms of what I'm trying to do to facilitate that, Brother Knowledge, is I started a new YouTube channel, self-empowerment channel called WUCUSU Empowerment. People can go to the internet, type up WUCUSU, WUCUSU Empowerment, and they'll come to it. Or they can go to YouTube and type in WUCUSU Empowerment, right? And over time, it's going to be a library of everything under that umbrella of what we call self-empowerment, that self-empowerment metaverse, right? So, it'll have meditation. What does it mean to meditate? How do we do it? What's visualization? Why does it help? How do we do it? Getting more focused, setting and achieving your goals, completing tasks in a timely fashion, so that anyone that's generally seeking self-empowerment in our community can go here and have a repository of these videos and lives and recorded videos and tools, learn how to use different tools to help them. The problem is that, so for people who want kind of like a free, I can go there, learn at my own pace, don't have to pay nobody nothing. I could pick and choose what I want. That's perfect. However, what I find, man, is that many of us, we simply learning the concepts, going to YouTube, learning about the different self-empowerment tools is not enough. Most people lack the discipline, the consistency to do it when they don't feel like doing it. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I got a headache. And we try something. We off to the next thing, right? Hey, how's that going? Oh, I stopped 3 weeks ago, right? So the coaching that I'm providing, in case people wonder, well, brother, why can't we just go to your YouTube channel? You can, but the coaching is the more intimate experience where I'll be able to have conversation with you, interact with you, and check up on you. See, coaches also, what they do is when you come up with a plan, let's say, for instance, Brother Knowledge, you were to come to me. Let's say I was coaching you and you said, hey, man, I'm trying to do a whole nother channel and I'm trying to do 2 other things. And I'm going to have to get my time management. I got to get it together. So we decide together, okay, we're going to work on time management with Brother Knowledge Born. All hypothetical, family watching, all hypothetical. And you also say that I've been finding, bro, that I've been starting stuff and not finishing it, man. I know that's going to get in the way of me having this other channel and doing all those other things. So we say, we got to work on consistency and discipline, right? So we're going to create a plan together, and you're going to say, yeah, this is what I'm committing to doing because I have these goals. I didn't give you them goals. You told me the goals, and we helped you figure, and you told me some of the things that you're challenged with, and I kind of, together with you, create a plan. Now, guess what? It's not going to stay there. I'm going to check up on you. I'm going to call you up, hand you the email. Yeah, brother, let's have a Zoom call. So what's going on with that time management? The plan we worked at. And I'm going to say, brother, listen now. You a grown man. I ain't going to tell you what to do, but this is what you said you wanted. I'm going to remind you that if what you said you wanted is what you truly want, you have to commit, or you're going to be right back to square one, right? And I don't want to get people's money and not actually help them, to reach their goals, overcome the fear, get more focus, whatever. So that's where the coaching comes in. And I have to say, the other thing is, Black people are typically in these positions, Brother Knowledge, man, where we want self-empowerment, man. We want to be better. We want to be on time. We want to set and achieve our goals, man. We want to make our families proud. We want to be our true selves, our authentic selves, and our highest selves, like anybody else. But we don't tend to have people in our community that come from us, that have our sensibility, if you know what I mean, that rock with us in our soul tribe. We tend to have people that are from other villages, other ethnic groups, and we got to go to them, and it's not the same. To hear it from Tony Roberts, he's going a whole nother direction with it, right? So I realized, man, we need more people in this field that's helping our people understand the need for self-empowerment. It's not some white thing. White people ain't the only ones here that want to improve themselves. We want to improve ourselves. Why do we go to school? Why do we learn a trade? Why are we reading books, right? Why do we have library cards? We want to improve ourselves, right? So the other thing that's important is that to have people like myself, I hope I will fill this role, people that look like us, that love us, and there's a track record. They're not just telling us they love us out the blue. We ain't never heard of them, seen them. They popping up now, right? But people have been in them trenches fighting for us, that know what our days are like, that know what it's like to be a Black man in America, man. Everybody thinks the worst of you. Nobody believes you, right? What it is to be a Black woman, not be heard, to be invisible, to be doing the same job with the same education and making less, and that type of frustration that creates in a sister, right? You need people that understand that, because if you don't have people like that to understand, you're going to be constantly trying to explain. You ever been with somebody, you got to explain every damn thing and they still don't get it because they're just not there, right? So I realized that we need somebody to play the role. And also, I love philosophy. I love scholarship. I am a scholar. I love intellectualism and debating ideas sometimes. But at the end of the day, I focus on outcomes. I'm not just going to be there cheerleading with pom-poms, family. I'm there to help people to grow in measurable ways. And I also, as a teacher, I'm going to use all types of ways to do that. But I do want to say this before, make sure I get this in before we go. Yes, I'm going to help clients be on time, manage their time, achieve their goals, overcome their fears, stay focused, get rid of distractions, know how to attract people who align with them, who are not competitive with them, not hating on them on the low. But at the end of the day, I got a much larger vision, Brother Knowledge. I'm in this because, and I wrote this down, I help Black people discover their purpose, man, to build their character and become their highest and most authentic selves while preparing them to participate in the liberation of their communities. So in other words, man, my ultimate objective is not just to help you solve these problems in your life, but to help you do better, but also to be better. My goal is to help people to transform their lives, man. Without having to go to the church and hear the sermon and the pastor, not in that way, right? And it dawned on me, a lot of Black people hear coaching, that's that white stuff. You got to pay money. Who's going to pay for that? Well, you pay for sneakers. You pay for clothes. You pay for gadgets. Amazon, these Chinese companies, man, they love us. We some of the biggest spenders. And guess what? 5 years later, you don't even look at them clothes. They're decaying, biodegrading in some landfill somewhere. Right? The sneakers that was all hot, now you don't even look at them. They're in a landfill. They're in a sanitation dump somewhere. Right? These things don't pour into you. They take from you. They take your money. why not invest in our personal evolution? And so that's what I'm hitting on. You know, people used to say, put your money where your mouth is. I'm like, put your money where your advancement is. We should be pouring our money and our time into people, places, and things that will advance us. And still have fun, but make sure at the end of that day, you're getting something for that, right? But I do want to say this, Brother Knowledge, and I'm done, man. I want to say this because this is important. I'm not one of these people that's scraping at the bottom barrel for anybody. Oh, I'm begging you, please. I'll give you 18 free courses if you come. No. Nope. No. I'm not chasing people down, Brother Knowledge. I'm not begging for no clients. My business is based on alignment. I'm clear. That means I'm gonna sacrifice some people who want to come through, and I'm like, nah, you're not serious. And I want you to think about this when I say built on alignment. Think of the Underground Railroad during the times of enslavement in this country, of formal enslavement in this country, right? Underground Railroad operators weren't meeting with white slave masters to try to get them to see that slavery was a terrible injustice, a form of inhumanity against black people. They wasn't doing that. They weren't going and having lectures to enslaved Africans on the plantations. You know this is a terrible institution. You know you should be running away. You know you should be fighting. They didn't do that. What the Underground Railroad did, Brother Knowledge, is they built an infrastructure, a way of transportation and helping people to be free for the ones who were ready and willing to be free. They didn't have to go convince them to run away. That's who the Underground, if you think about it, that's who the Underground Railroad was for. Now, the abolitionists, they might have had speeches trying to appeal to the whites with money, right? And trying to appeal to get more money to help and appeal for legislation, appeal for this and that. Underground Railroad was grassroots as it gets. It was secretive. It was underground for real. And they had special processes and special rituals and things they did for the people that they were transporting. But they didn't sit there begging you to come with them, family. No, this is what it is. You want to be free. You ready to run, take the risk of being shot or killed, have parts of your body cut off. That's what it is. But if you go back, we ain't going to let you go back alive and tell on the rest of us. So this is what it is. If you're ready, come. Am I making the point, Brother Knowledge, what I'm saying? You feel me?
100%. Yeah, I'm tracking over here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and I thought back in my life, Brother Knowledge, I was always an Underground Railroad, but I was always, whether I was teaching in a class, I was always, this is what the curriculum said to teach in social studies for 7th and 8th grade. I was teaching this. I wasn't telling them. I told them, they say that voting and A, B, and C, but I would tell them, the history of how black people got ahead. Even if it came to legislation or vote, it wasn't because some white man signed some document that we was free, because it was our riots, our civil unrest, our radical oratory, our radical journalism, our grassroots organizing, our building independent black institutions that forced that situation for them to sign something. So even if you may say some white official did it, we created a scenario that forced them to do that. We have been our saviors, right? So I'm saying this to say my work is for a specific group of people, Brother Knowledge. My ideal clients are going to have 3 main traits. One, they acknowledge that they need to grow and they want to grow. I ain't going to be sitting there telling people why they should get a coach. Hey, man, I don't have time for that. Maybe somebody else can do that. I want the people who's like, man, I'm tired of not seeing things through to completion. I'm tired of letting myself and other people down. I could do so much more. I want to be my highest self, and I want that. Number 2, they have to be coachable. Biggie. That's a big one. They have to be open to someone correcting them. They have to be open to somebody saying, well, I hear what you're saying, but that is going directly against what you said you want. That's self-defeating. That thought is limiting. And if you keep thinking like that, you'll never reach that finish line. You'll never cross the line, right? They have to be open to that without wanting to fight, thinking that you're hating on them, getting upset with you, arguing with you, right? So that's important. A level of humility. I'm not arguing and debating the people I coach. I work with collaborators, not opponents. Not people that's got a bone to pick and everything I say they want to fight. And nah, we're not doing that. I like what Dr. John Henrik Clarke said. And this is not exact analogy, but he said, I don't debate. I only debate my equals. Everyone else, I teach. That's deep. That's saying if I know this is right and exact, I've studied this and done this all my life, I'm not going to be going back and forth with somebody on something. So if you're coaching somebody, if you're parenting somebody, if there's that type of dynamic, people have to be willing to close their mouth when it's time and listen. Just like as the coach, most of the time I'm going to be closing my mouth because I'm asking questions and I'm listening, because that's the only way I'm going to know the areas in which you want to grow and improve. I'm not going to impose nothing on you. I'm only going to respond to what you tell me, right? So that's important. And then number 3, and this is where it gets funny with our people, they have to be willing to invest in themselves and their future. In other words, they got to be prepared to pay me for my services, brother knowledge. I'm keeping it real. I've been serving Black people for a long time, sometimes through formal jobs, sometimes volunteer, all types of stuff. And at some point, we have to prioritize the things that add value to our lives and stop throwing our money away to demons who absolutely hate us, family. They love our money and hate us, right? We have to start reframing our priorities. Now, Amos Wilson said, you can't buy your way to liberation. You can't spend your way to freedom, but you can pool your money and do some very enterprising things with Black people on the same frequency with you. That's like, man, I will go without a lot of money in my pocket in order to put money into something where we can get some land. We can own a cooperative business. We can open up a supermarket and 50 of us in the community own it, co-own it. And we can work there and we can give our community discounted food. You know, people that's thinking like that. Like, I'll go without the flyest this and that and this and that in order to have a stake, to put something that can actually feed the people, house the people, and protect our people, those type of people. So that's the thing with me. I'm changing my whole strategy. I was putting up all these little commercials. If I was your coach, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not begging nobody, man. I'm putting it out there. This is what I do. I'm explaining it like on your broadcast. And by the way, Do Knowledge Radio, man, mad love for Do Knowledge Radio. We talk about consistency and body of work. We talking about what, 4,000 episodes, Brother Knowledge?
Yes, sir. 10 years, 4,000 episodes.
10 years. This is what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, we can trust Brother Knowledge. That don't mean he perfect, but it means we know one thing. The brother's consistent. The brother ain't no quitter. The brother ain't going to give up when times is rough. When he ain't get his $10 million check from YouTube, he going to keep moving. We know this because he's been putting this in for 10 years. And that's just with YouTube. He's been doing other things longer than 10 years, right, for our people. But that's what I'm trying to say, that type of body of work, that consistency, those are the things we're looking for, right? And I want to say lastly, man, the way I'm going to work with people, Brother Knowledge, one-on-one coaching takes a lot of time. Imagine if I had 50 people, right, clients, and every one of them wants to meet one-on-one. And some can only meet on certain days and certain times, right? Imagine the load that would be on the coach trying to deal with all those different people. So I'm very practical. I'm older. I've been through some health issues. I'm getting stronger though. I'm getting healthier. And I want to focus on groups, small groups of people, maybe 7 at a time in one class setting, like through a Zoom or a Google Meet, and we go through these different things together as a cohort. Also, though, if it's organizations, then I want to do bigger groups, 10 to 20, because an organization might say, Brother Agyei, we like what you're about, what you do. We want to get all of our officers to get this coaching. We want to get some of our members to get the coaching. Younger people that we want to groom into leadership, we want them to be there. So an organization might have 10, 20 people. So, boom, we got a 10, 20 person group, and we're going to meet. I also want to hit specialized groups. I'm very interested in Black parents, particularly of middle schoolers and high schoolers. A time that's very tough on parents. The kids are, they're not quite children anymore. They're not quite adults. They're in the middle. And, it's a lot of tension with that. So I want to work with parents. I want to work with fellow educators, helping these teachers to better connect with the kids, to know how to put some Africana studies in some of those curriculums or those lessons they teach, to know how to deal with the kids that's a little challenging for them. I want to definitely deal with our community organizers and activists, because we deal with a lot of stress. Brother Knowledge, you know this, a lot of stress. We usually balancing a lot. We volunteering time, we working time, we got homes we got to deal with, and then we got community members we got to deal with. Everybody wants something. Everybody is pulling for a different need. Our activists and organizers and leaders need coaching. They need people to help them know, okay, this is how you deal with stress. This is how you deal with anxiety. This is how you manage your time. So maybe you won't be stressed. Because when I look at what you do with your day, I notice that 3 hours of your day is spent on watching TV. And if you took half of that and put that over here, right? So our leaders, even though they're smart and successful, and even the people in our community that's got the big jobs making money, people think, oh, they're good. Only losers need coaching. Wrong. That's a completely wrong thing. Kobe Bryant, was he a loser? Nope. But he had a head coach for the Lakers, and he had other coaches that he went out and hired himself to help him become stronger, have better stamina, be more flexible, be a better shooter, right? And you can see it. And so did Michael Jordan. You can see it in his play. That's what sets the greats apart from everybody. They go extra, right? They want to be their highest self. That's why on his last game, what he dropped, 55, 60 on him, Brother Knowledge, his last game.
Yeah.
Right? He called it the Mamba mentality. Love that brother, man. I don't know about his politics.
Coming back from this, a career.
Achilles.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. We used to be that type of people, Brother Knowledge. If you look in history, that Mamba mentality, like, I ain't give a damn what's happening. I don't care if we got all the rent, we ain't got none of the rent. I don't care if we gonna make this happen. We're gonna find a way, create a way, or what have you. And seem like we've lost a little bit of that, and I'm trying to help bring that culture back through coaching. I'm trying to help people be better and do better. And even athletes, because I was a former athlete. So those are some of the groups, the Black groups I want to work with. And that's how I plan to work, man. And that's really it. If people ready to rock with their brother, man, I have space for people that want to do that type of work, Brother Knowledge. And they understand they need help. They're actively seeking help, and they're prepared to pay for that help, family. Because like anybody else, like Amazon and all these other places and the restaurants we go to and the sneakers we buy and the jeans we buy and wherever we go, this is a business too. So if people wanted to call me and said we could do a free, it'd be like a 15, 20-minute call. We call it a discovery call where I get to see what they're talking about, what they need, and if we're a good fit. You can call me at 872-222-6764. If I don't answer, you can leave a message. I'll get back to you within a business day, right? So if you call me on Friday, I'll get back to you by Monday. If you call me on Thursday, I'll get back to you by Friday. I will make sure I do. You can reach, if you want to look at my code. Yes, sir. 872-222-6764. What else? I have a coaching website, WUCUSU Coaching. That's kind of a longer website. I don't know if I. That's kind of a longer thing, but maybe I could. Let's see if I can put it in the chat. I don't know if it's got time for that. Yes, see, Ursula know what's up. Let me find out. She a sports fan, brother. She's put Kobe dropped 60 points last game, April 13th, 2016. That's right. You know, I'm trying to get that back. That Kobe mentality, man. Listen, y'all. Watch when he tore his Achilles. Y'all, did you ever? I don't know if y'all ever. Did you ever get a pain in your Achilles? Your Achilles is torn. You ain't walking. His whole joint ripped. He had 2 foul shots.
And he didn't limp off the court.
Man, he shot his foul shots, and when he was done, he went off the court.
And he walked off the court. He ain't
let nobody carried him.
None of that.
Come on, brother Knowledge. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
He had a mentality. And if you actually read his book and read up about him, he had a whole philosophy, that Mamba mentality. That nothing gonna stop this, nothing. And that's why it was so sad, man, when he died. He may not have been a political brother, but he was brilliant. And the way he thought, man. I know, family, this brother got an Oscar.
Yeah, he was young. And
he was a bad dude, man.
He didn't go to college. You see what I'm saying?
He didn't go to college.
The MBA was his college. So
that's right. He went straight from high school.
Right, and he learned that work ethic from Michael Jordan. And
man. And look, Knowledge. This is what thank you, brother. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. If you can see a video in the All-Star game where you know how they bend over and they hold their trunks, they tired, where Kobe and Michael Jordan are right next to each other, and Kobe's asking him, yo, when you do that fadeaway, man, how do you always pull that fadeaway off and nobody ever blocks it and whatever? And he's schooling him. If you saw the funeral, Michael Jordan tearfully was recalling how Kobe would text him 2-3 in the morning. How do you do that pivot move? How do you do this? And he said it would annoy him, but he came to love him because he realized, man, this guy loves the game as much as me. He wants to be his best just like me. And he became like his big brother. You know? The point is, as great as he was humble. Some of us, we can't ask the next. We feel funny, be like, brother Knowledge, how do you do that thing on your background? You got the 4,000 and it's moving. And you got stuff blinking. How do you do that? Some of us, man, we feel funny asking another black man or woman for help. It's almost like it takes away from us to ask another brother or sister. And that's a very poor way to go about life, because you're going to miss out on a lot of beauty and lessons that way. You should not have to go through everything yourself to learn. You should be, right? You should be able to learn from other people. So that's another thing I admire about Kobe, but those are some ways, family. If you're interested, I would say definitely you can call me there. I see Brother Knowledge put up some of the websites. I appreciate that. I say I want to acknowledge CL Collins in the building. Sister Ursula's in the building. Want to thank you all for coming out. And who knows, maybe you all might be potential clients. We never know. But the point is, that's what I'm trying to do.
Also, Bobby.
Yes. You want me to put the link?
I got it. Yeah,
okay. I can show it. Can I share my screen real quick?
Go ahead. But I do have you up on the screen. I have your website up on the screen.
Oh, yes, I see it. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's my website. I wanted to show the ebooks.
Right.
Because those are specifically empowerment books, right? Self-empowerment books. Do I do that? Do I
share it over here now, and I'll put it on the screen.
Okay, so you want the link? Hold on.
You just share your screen, and I'll put it up on the screen.
Okay. Let's see. Share screen.
I got you right here.
See it?
Yep.
Right. So all of these are strictly self-empowerment. The meaning of WUCUSU took Malcolm's phrase and made it an empowerment framework. The turtle philosophy. 30 tips for raising empowered children. Words of power, 100 affirmations for black men. From stuck to start. You know, people who like in a place like, I'm stuck, I don't know how to get out. 5 ways to do that. And then if you look at here, it's like over here, these books, there's 5 of them. That's the Gen Z empowerment. I'm really big on the Gen Z because they're the ones that are young, but able to do things. Like little babies can't do much. These people are between like 12 and maybe 27 years old. That's a generation we got to get them while they're young and empower them. So these books, if you see, each one touches on 2 character traits. And it's called, the series is called Gen Z It's Time to Glow Up, because that's one of their slang terms. Glow up, right? Preparation for our black nation, 35 careers black children should consider. This is a digital age, family. And though some parents may wince when I say this, the days where you better get a college degree are rapidly ending, family. There's a lot of room to work meaningfully, make good pay, have freedom of movement, and may not even have to go to an office that don't require a college degree. It might require getting a certificate in a certain type of AI or things of that nature, but there's a lot of things that we don't consider as black folk when we consider careers. And so we go through 35 different things. Some of them require a college degree, some don't, but they are all important, not just for the individual that needs work, but for our nation. Nation needs certain types of workers. So we get into that. And I'm not going to go through everything, but so if you can see, there's different things to do it. How to deal with tough times, 20 life lessons for youth, why black people need empowerment coaching. And you'll notice if you look closely, a few of these books, I think I made 3 or 4, are free for you to check out, right? And then I have another page. I got 2 more over here. These are my most recent 2. Crossing the finish line, getting things done effectively and efficiently. Something that black people could all use help with. We come up with an idea. Okay, great. How do we take it from invisible idea to sketching it out, to outlining it, to conceiving it, and taking it from concept to manifestation, right? How do we do that? And also the blueprint for black student success, a 10-part strategy. I want to say these are ebooks, family. So they are not traditional books. They're not going to be these big, thick books that you may be accustomed to. These are ebooks. It might be some are 15 pages, some are 45 pages. And the way they're formatted, right, they're actually not big at all. They come as a PDF when you download it. You can download it on your phone, your computer, what have you. You can take it with you and see it. So yeah, so I'm going to end that the sharing. And that's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to really edify the people, give them the tools that they need and the coaching that we need. And again, you don't have to be the world's biggest loser, family, to get a coach. I just told you Kobe Bryant had coaches. All of the best have coaches. Singers have choreographers who are what? Coaches. They teach them how to dance, right? And how to maintain their breath as they dance in different formations. Running backs have running back coaches in addition to the head coach, and they also have coaches they hire on their own. So I'm trying to get us to see if we want to be the best we could be, you got to put in some work, right? Like Debbie Allen said on that TV show Fame, you got to put in the work. Something like that. You got to put in the work, right? And if we do that and we commit, we can change our lives and we can change the lives of other people. If you come on the website, I'm going to have black people on there. One brother, Yusuf Bunch Shakur, man, born in Detroit, started a gang, was gang banging, was running wild, goes to prison for a crime he actually didn't commit, meets his father in prison, meets him for the first time, His father has become a revolutionary in prison. So his father's schooling him, making him a revolutionary, taking him to the other OGs. He does 9 years, he comes out. This brother renovating buildings in Detroit, turning them into community centers, got a bookstore. This brother didn't have a GED. Now, Yusuf Bunshi Shakur has an associate, a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate degree. Former so-called felon. I'm gonna have people coming on this channel, on my empowerment channel, that's gonna be speaking to transforming our lives, man. What does liberation look like in an individual? How does an empowered man or woman walk? How do we think? How do we operate? That's what this is about, to make sure that we are all being our best selves, right? Because guess what? Organizations are made up of people, individuals. Movements are made up of people. Governments are made up of people. So when we get them people right, it can help make our movements, our communities, our households, and our nation better. So that's it, man. That's what I got for you, Brother Knowledge. I got the bomb. Hey. Yeah, that's what's up. Thank you, brother.
Yes. Robert Agyei, thank you for your time. Honest to you, honest to your queen, honest to your family, honest to WUCUSU Lounge, okay, and Harlem Liberation School, and this empowerment path that you're on. It's much needed, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be connected with someone who walks it like he talks it, and provide spaces of honor and reverence for our people while they're still here, and for those who have made the transition back into our ancestral realm. Phenomenal support to myself, to this platform, and to our people in general. What you did with Baba Daruba, you know what I'm saying, and so many others, over the years. It's never lost on those who are for real. The way you honored our queen mothers throughout the month. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that happen in regards to, I may not catch you to tell you everything, but, we get to spaces, I'll be like, hey, I seen that. And your innovative approach towards reformation, towards education, towards enlightenment, towards celebrating, and towards being critical. You are an educator, and you make us think. You know what I'm saying? So this is another opportunity for us to have these think tanks that Baba Steve Coker, Recipe and Farmer said that we need. You need to be able to be in a space to think. When you're in an environment where you can't think, you're not going to be able to see things through. So critical thinking, a space of accountability, all of these are seeds to reformation, and you're doing an amazing job, man. So honest to you, Bob. Give us a final word before you go. I know you got something else. Before you go, give us one last word, and then tell us one more time how to find you, how to get in tune with you, how to get those books, how to get your coach session, how to get everything that need to be done that you offer. One more time. You're on mute, Bob.
Thank you, brother. Sorry about that, fam. Yeah, so if you want to call me, and we do it just a free call, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, just to talk about what your needs are, what you're trying to work on, your goals, and see if you're a good fit, and we'll probably take it from there. And I'm gonna tell you this, family, because I know our people, we always want a nice deal, don't we? I know I do. Ain't nobody rich up in here. So look, I'm trying to stay away from a lot of individual coaching. I'll do a few people, but they're going to have to pay for that. That's customized. But if you say, man, I want to get coaching with this brother, I want to see what's up with it, and you bring in other people with you, if you bring in a certain number of people, I'll coach. Yours will be free. You feel me? You might get a free coaching deal if you bring in a certain number of other people with you. And I'll even take a little bit off for them, because I know that, you know, many of us, even those that want to do better and are willing to pay, sometimes we just can't afford things because we got other things. We got rent and, you know, all types of kids in school and car notes. So I understand that. I understand how it is out here. So I'll work with people. I would say call me at 872-222-6764. I believe the number is here in the chat. I saw it here. Also, what else? Peace to the guys, CL Collins. Also, I think I saw my website up here, WUCUSU. Oh, that's for the products. Payhip.com, WUCUSU products. That's for my my ebooks. Those are all empowerment ebooks, family, and I'm going to address everything. I got a new one that's going to be coming out next week on anxiety, dealing with anxiety and things of that nature. And I believe Brother Knowledge just put up, before that he had up my my actual coaching website, which is WUCUSU. There it is, WUCUSU Coaching. That's a long, I got to get a domain for that. But that's a long name, but it's WUCUSU Coaching. Most of the stuff, if you look up my name and you type in WUCUSU Coaching, you will come to it. And also, family, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on my new channel, WUCUSU Empowerment YouTube channel, we have WUCUSU Lounge, where I'm kicking straight kind of coaching material right there, that you may be interested for free, right? I won't be able to follow up with you, like I said earlier, as I would if I coached you. But these are things, if you want to pop in and see, how do I determine my life purpose? How do I know what my personality type is? What types of work environments I do well in? How do I deal with distractions and being more focused? How do I overcome my fears and stop this negative self-talk? You know, all of that is addressed. Visualization, affirmations, meditation, all that is addressed in the recorded videos, and also I'll be doing the lives. And I have a few interesting things coming up I'm not even going to talk about yet. Nice surprises that'll come up on that channel. So you can also check me out there if you want the political edge, the Pan-African nationalist edge. That is through my channel, Harlem Liberation School, which also represents the organization myself and my beautiful wife, Queen, put together back in 2016. So you're also welcome to subscribe there as well, and, you know, support the movement. We're trying to holistically help our people, man, and make us well and help us to advance. So I hope I answered your question, Brother Knowledge. That's basically it. Family, thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you for supporting Brother Knowledge Born Allah. 4,000 episodes, 10 years. That's what we got to start thinking. Not just how I just jump in and do this and do that. How do we leave legacy? Right? Ancient Kemet wasn't great just because of the size of those pyramids and the beautiful art. Yeah, that's great. But, you know, what makes me think greatness when I think of Ancient Kemet is the longevity of that great, vast body of work, all that architecture, that they still don't know how they were able to do it. But how long? We're talking about 5, 10, 20,000 years. That pyramid of Giza has been standing there. Rain, all types of erosion, it's still there. Some people we know that come from a certain continent can't make a car that lasts 10 years or a cell phone that lasts 3. If we keep it real. But our people, our ancestors, your ancestors, that's what makes them monumental. How do we leave monuments? When we leave this physical plane, who will benefit from our existence? That's the question that I raise with you. Coaching, or whether you get coaching or not, that's what it's about at the end of the day. We live a life, we enjoy our life to the best of our ability, but hopefully we're thinking about, I don't just want to kind of live the life and go. I want to leave something, a footprint, something, a body of work, an idea, a product, something that will keep feeding other people, not just in our family, but other people. When Asada Shakur died, I did a live family. I broke down crying like a baby. I was hurt. Why? Because she left something. I never met that woman. I never met Brother Malcolm. But they left something that I was able to read. Asada was in Cuba. By the time I read her autobiography, Brother Malcolm was dead 3 years before I was even born. But because he left the speeches and that autobiography and other books, man, it helped raise me in their absence. So we got to talk about, how do we leave legacy? I see Sister Ursa said, how do we leave legacy? Now that's going to be a whole nother show, because I am going to talk about that. Broadcast rather. How do we leave legacy? It starts with thinking. It starts with not just saying, oh, so today I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go to the supermarket. It's thinking, that's for today. We get it. 50 years ahead, when I'm dead and gone, what do I want to leave? Right? And then work reverse engineering. Well, if that's what I want to leave, work backwards. What do I need to do to be in a position to leave that? Makes sense? So we'll get into that. I have an activity for that. We're going to get into that, Sister Ursula. I would suggest people come to the, in addition to Harlem Liberation School, please subscribe and come to the new channel, WUCUSU Empowerment, because we're dealing with all things empowerment. And it's for our people with that same love, that same Black sensibility, because we need, Tony Roberts is not going to do it for us, family. We need our own flavor, our own stamp when we talk about self-empowerment. So yeah, so thank you, family, for your time. I really appreciate it. And brother Knowledge, thank you for that immense body of work. See, that's monumental. You know, when I was in middle school, Brother Knowledge, we had a thing called a time capsule. Did anybody ever do that? Did you ever do that in school?
Of course.
Time capsules. And we actually went to the backyard, and people brought this and brought that and brought this, and they put it into this big thing and closed up and buried it. Mm-hmm. And the presumption is one day in the future, people may come and they'll do excavate and they'll find this thing that you left, and they'll have a kind of a snapshot of, well, oh, we found a yearbook, or we found a football, or we found, whatever, a book. Evidence, and they'll get a sense of what we were doing. We're leaving something. That's how we have to be. We can't just live for ourselves and just fart through life, fart it away. We got to be intentional with this life. This is all we got, to the best of our knowledge, here on this earth. That's all we got, man. So we should be treating our time and our life and the people we with, that should be under close scrutiny. We want to make sure that we do our best, right? And it's the same thing we tell our kids, is the things we got to tell ourselves. Be careful who you with. Be careful where you go, right? Make good decisions. Don't blow your money. It's the same thing we tell our kids we have to abide by. So I just want to thank you all again, man. I am very humbled and honored. Brother Naj didn't have to have me on his broadcast. I know what it is to do broadcast. It takes a lot of work. Brother Naj is doing graphics. He's coming up with titles, catchy titles. He's doing the SEOs to make sure, tags and all types of stuff to make sure that people know about it takes a lot of work to do that, and even to do the live part. He's putting up different things, scrolling on the bottom, all that stuff. The beautiful, elaborate display, that takes a lot of work. And people don't do that level of work voluntarily unless there's love behind that. So I appreciate his love for the people as well. I want to give you your flowers while I'm right here, good brother. I appreciate you, man. I thank you.
Thank you for your time, Baba. And we'll be back. Okay, we will be back soon. So when that book come out, you know what I'm saying? Come on back. All right?
Yeah, and I got you, brother. I got you. So yeah, no doubt.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace and Black Power, family.
Here, the centuries of loneliness were to end.
Your collection of Leonardo da Vinci masterpieces, Mr. Flint.
They appear to have been recently painted on contemporary canvas with contemporary materials.
Then, age, death, the taste of dust. Do you understand?
You wanted a perfect, ultimate woman. As brilliant, as immortal as yourself. Your mate for all time.
Merkaba master. I charted demons to other worlds, drive devils to plaster. Rush them to hell, breathing asthma. Play Satan on gurneys next to Hermes. Send them off to their journey to Cleopatra. They read those chapters, egos captured. The Leo laughter, neoplasma. Run through my veins in this matrix, and my basement became a plaza. And now I'm in the Sky Lounge with negative spirit hackers. Build on math and we read the chapters. Observe through our windows at the quiet disasters. Riots at NASA, marches, gender pride, freedom rights for the masses. Till we do away with first and second citizen classes. Religion is backwards, trying to comprehend to the pastor. This gym is like Jasper. Either we all live and strive for the youth to survive, or it all ends with the rapture. Forget waiting on the man, I'm making a plan. And for the ages of false statements, I'm taking a stand. Start an investigation on Satan with a cross in my hand. Make him plead guilty, now face the jury. We're in the courts of I am. If I could just vanish from off the planet, like magic, become caught from granite. Days, mathematics is understanding.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Oh, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
A billion stories in the naked city. Ghost told me that his best friend needs a kidney. We froze, reminiscing Tiffany in the cold. Open whiskey from the 20s, in the memory. Sympathy, made the angels play a symphony. Said he could've had a scholarship, toured different colleges. Now he's out of it, fading away slowly on dialysis. His name remained anonymous, but here's my acknowledgements. Street legends and hood guards. Kingdom fall into a mirage. Ghetto depression sets in. Then we place weed and cigars. A child has difficulties concentrating. From where he lives, he sees his promises fading. He sees his pops gone, his mom's is aging. She trying to stay strong for a church congregation. And meanwhile, a kid named Rico was the coke king. A lot of siblings of the dope fiends hope you scream. A lot of children with broken dreams, homes were clean. The most extreme, you got rich and what you sold to queens. Look what you did to Josephine. And Ebony is unheavenly. The devil's ready with open wings. As Lucifer uses love and his youthful mug. Then his blood on the cobra's fangs.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
Through the mid